The third practice for healthy limits fits after the first two. When your child has an understanding of what's in their circle of influence, when your child knows what the family agreements are, and then they've made a mistake. It's normal. Humans make mistakes. We are imperfect. The third practice is to do with putting things right after a mistake. In order for this practice to work, children need to feel that they are listened to, that they are heard, and that their views are respected. Not always agreed with, that's very different, but respected, listened to. Restorative practices have their roots in Aboriginal culture, and they were a major part of truth and reconciliation talks after the South African apartheid. They're not new, but they are different. It's a different way of handling things when a child has made a mistake. They come down to 5 basic questions. And what's more important than the question itself is how it's asked. Don't attempt a restorative practice conversation when you are in a rush or when you are feeling very emotional about the mistake your child has made. It will not go as well as it could if you are calm and you have time. The first question is, what happened? It's very simple. What happened? That question can be supplemented with, and then what happened? Or, and where were you when this happened? Or, and who else was there when this happened? To gradually encourage your child to share the story. Remember those words, share the story. It's their story about what happened from their point of view. No two people will be involved in a situation and see it exactly the same. What you're asking them is what happened from their point of view. The second question is, what were you thinking at the time? Again, the tone of voice that's asked in. If we ask, what were you thinking? They will not answer with honesty. They will sense that you are judging, that they are bad or that they have done wrong, and they won't be as open to the conversation. So what were you thinking when that happened? That's where empathy from the adult comes in. I can see that this must have been really hard for you. Empathy is not agreeing. I'm not saying you've done the right thing. If we take an example, if they have hit somebody, we know that that's not the right thing to do. They know that it's not the right thing to do. They don't need extra judgment on top. They don't need to be made to feel guilty or made to feel ashamed. The third question, what do you think the other people were thinking? The other people involved. When we make a mistake, quite often it's the relationship with somebody that we've harmed. So, okay, it may be a broken vase, but that vase meant something to the grandma because it was given to her by her mother. So what do you think she was thinking when she came in and saw your ball and the broken vase? This is the start of empathy building in the child. So getting them to see it from another person's perspective. Just as what happened was from their point of view, what do you think grandma was thinking? Is encouraging your child to take themselves out of their situation and think about the other people involved. What do you need to take responsibility for, or how can you put things right? This question links back to that first practice of circle of concern, circle of influence. What is it that I influenced? What's my part? Even if the child appears to be the wronged in the situation, there's often a responsibility. So let's say they didn't do very well in their lesson. They said something inappropriate to the teacher, or they just didn't do the work. What is their responsibility? I didn't ask for help. They're caught up in a situation with lots of children. What's their responsibility? I didn't walk away. What is it that you need to take responsibility for? Children can fall into 2 spectrums here, taking responsibility for everything, even things that aren't their fault, and taking responsibility for nothing, But if we ask these questions in this way, they start to see with their circle of influence, what is their part? What part have they played? And what do they need to do to put things right? The last question is about how can I help you to do that? Children aren't by themselves. They have adults around them. They need help. What do I need to do? How can I help you to put this right? And how can you make sure that this doesn't happen again? How can I help you with that? They will develop their understanding of what a healthy relationship is if the adults in their life can agree on, enforce kindly, and repair when things go wrong. This is healthy limits.